My name is Debo Adejano, real estate entrepreneur, MDCO Realty Point Limited, and this is Real Estate Business with Debo Adejano. Now, if you didn't watch the prior episode to this, I would encourage you to try and watch the previous episode, okay? Because we started on the 5 most important mortgage pre-qualification criteria, and I've already discussed 3: character, capacity, capital. We've discussed those thoroughly and how they impact. Now, the benefit of this session is when you master these things, you would always be able to qualify for mortgage. When you make sure that you check on these 5, that is basically all that the mortgage requirement is trying to judge, okay? So, we will be discussing the last 2. I'll be right back. Welcome back. So today we'll be concluding on the 5 most important loan pre-qualification criteria, like I said. And the number 4 pre-qualification criteria is collateral. Okay? Collateral. What's collateral? That's the security, you know. Usually when somebody gives you a loan, they also, ask for something from you that they hold. Okay, so that if you are not able to pay the loan, then they can recover their money from the disposal of that stuff. That is collateral. Now, in the mortgage environment, this is how it works. The property you are buying is a collateral. The property they are giving you mortgage on, that you start staying in, is the collateral. You start letting out, is the collateral for that loan. So for mortgage, it's even easier, but this is it. So it is the reason why a lot of mortgage banks are quite particular about the integrity, okay, structural integrity of that property. They want to be sure that it will last the term. If a loan is supposed to be for 20 years, for example, and you are using it to buy a property that will fall apart in another 10 years, you won't qualify. So you would see the reason why mortgage banks are usually concerned about the structural integrity, about the fact that the people delivering the property have their own have expertise in that area and all of that, or at least they can attest to the fact that this property can stand that tenure, okay? So, because it is what they will dispose of if you are not able to pay or service your loan anytime in future. That is how collateral works. So, you should be concerned about the type of property you are buying, who you are buying it from, the fact that it passes the structural integrity test, and it's also something that is marketable, something that they can get value for, you know. It's not in any far-flung area. So if you're doing mortgage in areas that people hardly will buy, you will find it difficult to get mortgage, or you are doing mortgage on very choice properties, you find it difficult to get because nobody wants to borrow you money on a property that when they want to sell, it will take forever to be able to sell it. So they usually would consider all of that in deciding whether your property passes the test of collateral, okay? And then the last one is condition. Condition, okay? Or conditions, you can say. There are a number of conditions that get attached to when you make loan requisitions, okay? Mortgage inclusive, okay? And it is very important. But this is how it works with a mortgage system. Say, for example, you are asking for a personal loan. You just say a personal loan, meaning that you can take the money and use it for anything you so wish. Versus if you are asking for a vehicle purchase loan. Now, if you are asking for a vehicle purchase loan and being adjudged to qualify, the person giving you the loan will be more predisposed to attaching a condition of direct disbursement, for example. So they will look for who you are buying the vehicle from. Either they get somebody that you can buy it from that they trust, okay, or they can allow you to indicate any supplier, okay, that they can deal with that passes their maybe dealership or whatever requirements, and then they disburse directly to that dealer. So you just take the vehicle. They are not going to give you the money and then trust you to go and deliver or to go and pay the vendor. No, they're going to disburse. That's a condition. So, and then there are some conditions, they will say conditions precedent to drawdown. So it could mean that the title is in place, approvals are in place in case of mortgage, is well built, it's built to specification, nothing will go wrong on this, and then we are disbursing directly to the to the developer or to the vendor, whoever is selling the property. So the money is not going to pass through your hand. No. You are going to bring in your own capital. For example, if you recall, if you've not watched, I would encourage you to go and watch that episode. You're going to bring in your own capital, which is your own initial payment, and then they are going to add, let's say in the case of 25 million, and it's 10% you are bringing in. You're going to bring in your 2.5%, and the mortgage bank is going to add their 22.5%, and then disburse to the vendor. They're a developer or just a private vendor, they're going to disburse to them. So you then take possession of the property, but they also take the documents of the property, because remember, it's the collateral. They take the document of the property. They have the document of the property with them because that is the collateral. Legal mortgage on it, okay? Such that you will not be able to, it's in their name, it will be registered in their name and all of that, until you finish paying before it can be released to you. They will release the property to you. So that is condition. It's usually tied to direct disbursement when it comes to the aspect of mortgage. That's one very strong condition that you will come across. So if you are in a situation where this fits well into the kind of transaction you want to do, and whatever other conditions that they are bringing is something that you can satisfy, the property has title because it's going to be used as collateral, it has approval, is well built, and all of those things. And you provide all of those evidence, okay, as condition precedent to their drawdown. Then you bring in your money and all of those conditions, and they are able to directly disburse to the vendor. Then you've met it. So what this goes to tell you is that whenever you check all of these 5 when applying for mortgage, you can be sure that you qualify. Not like I said in the earlier episode, there are hybrid methods that we use, creative methods that we use because of our finance, the depth of our finance market still, in the country. We have to resort to using a number of creative and innovative ways for people to be able to qualify for loan or at least access loan partly for whatever it is that they are buying and they are able to afford. So don't think that this is exhaustive in any way. Discuss with your agent, your broker, your developer, your mortgage banker, and they will be able to come up with any creative thing that can suit you. For example, for middle income market, we're having to do a number of things. Exploring NHF, which is a government loan. Sometimes exploring even the developer giving almost like a developer loan, as it were, and then the mortgage bank being able to give loan. So you are buying a property of 25 million, and the developer allows you to spread maybe 6 million over 3 months. Over 2 years, because that's the construction period. 6 million is spread, and you can afford that. And that means you have 19 million left, for example. And then we try to get a loan for 12.5 that you qualify for based on your income. And that loan is not disbursed until a certain period, okay? And then the remaining maybe 7 or 6.5 million naira, you are able to deposit it. So, for example, you have 6.5 million to deposit now because you've been saving for some time. Or let's even say you have 2 million. I just want to try and explain how this creative model works. And I'll still do an episode on this to explain it further. So take, for example, you want to get a 25 million naira loan. You're a middle income earner. You earn, say, about, let's say, combined income, about 800,000 in your house. And that's another thing. There's combined income. Combined income, when they are assessing your capital, your capacity, they can assess combined income. You are married, yourself and your wife, what does your combined household income, that's what they call it, household income comes to. So 800,000, you'll be able to afford something of, let's say, maybe stretching it 200,000 repayment every month, okay? If you're able to do this, it's different from if all you earn is 500. You won't be able to do this ordinarily. But because you earn up to 800, okay, you'll be able to do, let's say even 250 or 300, okay, repayment. And you qualify because you earn 5, your wife earns 300, they adjudge you, and you are within the plus or minus of the 33. Anything between 33 to 40%, can be looked at in terms of repayment. So, you're able to do 300. monthly, remember. Then, but before now, you've saved, say, about 5 million naira. Or you can dispose one or two things and raise 5 million naira. You put that down as deposit. You have 20 million naira to go. You apply for 12.5 million, which will come to paying about this amount monthly for like a 10-year period or something, or 15-year period, okay? Meaning that this is covered out of 20, remaining 7.5. And then because the construction is going to take some time, this 7.5, the developer allows you to stretch it over, let's say, 2 years or 3 years that the construction will take. So you do this, you are stretching this, and then by the time you finish this up, that's when the mortgage bank disburses 12.5 to the developer, and then your mortgage repayment kicks in. That's fantastic. That's a creative mortgage model there for you. I'll still discuss some of these. If you are interested in knowing it, if you want me to discuss it, please make a comment. Pass the comment and say, hey, looking forward to the creative mortgage model episode. We'll definitely do that. It's been my pleasure presenting this. I believe that you've picked one or two things, okay? People tell me that they benefit a lot from what it is that we share on this channel. I hope that that is also your experience. If that is your experience, please let us know. Click the like button at least to let us know that you like this. And pass a comment. You have questions, please drop it at the comment section. We'd like to engage with you, okay, further in this. If you've not subscribed to the video channel at all, I would encourage you to please subscribe and click the notification button. What that enables you to do is that whenever we drop a video, you'll be one of the first to know, and you can watch it at your convenience, okay? We promise that we'll keep bringing you very good things here, very knowledgeable stuff that you would have paid handsomely for, okay? We'll be dropping them here free of charge for you to be able to access and learn, and let us hook up together. Please follow me on my social media handles, Debo Adejano on Instagram, Debo Adejano on Twitter. Okay, look for us on Facebook and all of that. Please, Debo Adejano, myself, and Reality Point, you can look for us also. Reality Point also on Twitter and then on Facebook and on Instagram. Look for us, follow us, please. Let's continue to engage further, even beyond now. I remain yours sincerely, Debo Adejano, in the business of helping you sack your landlord. Till we meet in the next episode. Thank you very much.